Hello, thank you for checking out this little tutorial. It's my exact process for how to add inventory to your Square point of sale. So I don't have a screenshot or anything of me unboxing and organizing my new inventory by style and size. But if you don't already do that, I highly recommend that being your very first step when you unbox your product is to organize it by style and size, especially if you're selling clothing. So I organize mine by style, color, and then size, small, medium to large. And then I take the packing list. Hopefully your vendor sends you a packing list because it's so much easier to like check it off, write it down, all that good stuff. But I take the packing list. If I don't have a packing list, I use Fair to order all of my inventory. I have spent, the last 2 years really like trying out different brands, finding ones where I have the good margin, where I can mark it up 2.5 to 3 times. But anyway, I go to Fair and I will pull my orders if I didn't get a packing list from the vendor. But the reason I do that is because I figure out what my retail price is going to be before I sit down to enter it all into Square. So you have your product unboxed, you have your retail price figured out, you're ready to dive into Square and get all of your inventory added. So in this example, I'm just going to do one set of shackets. There are 3 different colors and they come in sizes small to extra large. This way I was able to show you all the different features and options that there are with Square and adding inventory. And again, you'll notice I don't download or upload bulk inventory. If I had a ton of inventory to add at one time, I would probably do that. But I order my inventory once per week in smaller batches. That way I have a lot of control over seasonality, styles. And again, I can really focus on what my customers are going to purchase that I know they're going to purchase and feel comfortable that I will be able to mark up those products 2.5 to 3 times. So again, I don't add a ton of products at once. I do this weekly when I get my inventory. So that's the process I am going to show you. So we will get started. So you're in your Square dashboard and you go to the items and item library on the left-hand side of your Square dashboard. Everybody's left-hand side is a little bit different because you can customize that order. So I skipped that part. But I'm in my item library and I'm going to go to create item. Here, you're going to make sure to add your item title. This is also what will sync with Square Online. So make sure it's something that's very simple, something that your customers are going to easily understand, and it's descriptive enough. You don't need to add color to your title. I've heard people do that for SEO purposes. Unfortunately, that's not going to drive a ton of SEO traffic. So the benefit or the pros and cons of adding a color to the title, the pros don't outweigh the cons. So the cons are it's very messy. It makes your titles uber long, and your customers don't need to see that. They just need to see like an acid wash oversized jacket, blah, blah, blah. Because you can see it's already pretty long there because I was trying to be descriptive. So again, you don't need to add color because you're not going to add all of your colors separately. So you're not going to add your pink ones, your blue ones, and your brown ones separately. You're going to add them all as one item with the different variations, which I will show you below. So that is number one mistake that I see people do is they add their variations as separate items. Again, they argue, well, like when you're on your Square Online website, you can't see all the different colors and variations when you're just browsing. Okay, true, but it's messing up your inventory. It's very messy. You're creating more items than necessary, and that process takes longer than doing it this way. Second thing to note here, in your categories with Square Point of Sale, you can only put an item in one single category. With Square Online, you can put it in as many categories as you want to. So think about it this way. For Square Point of Sale in your item library, this is for reporting purposes. So you're going to want to have fewer categories because you want to see how each category performs for you. When you pull your reports weekly and monthly to see like, okay, my tops moved at a rate of this and my bottoms are not moving at all. Like if you have those larger categories, you'll be able to see more of those trends and those consistencies or inconsistencies. Whereas if you had, you know, sweaters, t-shirts, button downs, and then jeans, shorts, athleisure bottoms, whatever, you might not be able to see those trends. You might not get as much data where you can make better purchasing decisions. So again, item library, you're only going to add it to one main category. When you get to Square Online, that's when you're going to add it to as many categories as you want to. Again, I will show you that in a little bit here. So you're just going to want to verify this information, the location and the taxes. That is a default setting that you can set up to be the same every time you create an item. I like to just like browse over it when I'm adding an item, making sure everything looks good. But here's where we're going to add those colors and sizes. You're going to add options. So this is something that I see a lot of boutique owners not doing, but this is going to save you time. It's going to make your reporting better, and it's going to make your user experience on your website better as well. So you're going to click add option. Typically, I would add all the colors first. I will explain that why in a little bit. But here you see that I have an option set called size. I use, like, you can reuse this. Once you create an option set, it is saved for you to use in the future, which is super nice. So every time I add shirts, I don't have to remake all the options. I can go in and select my sizes. So as you can see, it has saved all of these different options that I've ever added for size. So I just group everything that has a size. So whether it was shoes or tops or bottoms into the size category. You could, if you wanted to make an option set called shirt sizes, denim sizes, shoe sizes, different item sets, you could do that as well. Completely up to you. But whatever you put as that item or that option set title, that's what's going to show up on your website for people to choose from. So again, these shackets that I'm adding came in sizes small through extra large. So all I have to do now is remove any of the sizes that don't apply. And you do that by just hitting the X's on the side to remove an option. So I've done that. I have small through extra large. Now I'm going to add the color right in the same screen. So I'm adding all my colors and all my sizes to one item so that people, when they're shopping online, can easily see all of the colors that this jacket comes in one screen. So you add another option set. Again, I already have color because I use it for almost every top. So your color option, you're going to select that. If you didn't have an option set pre-saved for color, all you would have to do is create a new one right within here. You start typing and you would be able to create a new option set. So I chose color. So it's the same thing with this one. I already had pink and I already had rust as color options in my option set list. I did not, however, have sapphire, so I just had to type in the word sapphire and click create new in order to create this variation. So now Square, when I click next here, is going to create all 12 of those variations, right? So I have 3 colors with 4 sizes each. That's 12 different variations that Square is going to create for me in my point of sale. So the reason that I did the size first and color second for this example was because I wanted to show you, if you accidentally do size first and color second, all you have to do is go here and drag the color to be above the size. Or vice versa. The reason is because when you get down to at your variations where you can see right under those options there, it is much easier to visualize them in color and then size. So it'll list all your pink ones together, then all of your brown ones and all your sapphire ones together with the sizes respectively. Whereas if you had size listed first, it would say small pink, small rust, small sapphire, medium, blah, blah, blah. Also, when we go to print our labels, whatever order you have this in is what order your labels are going to be printed. And for efficiency purposes, you probably want all the colors printed together so that when you go to label your items, you're building in that efficiency in this process and you're not going back and forth between small, 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 medium, medium, medium. It's just not as efficient. Okay, then you can bulk edit your price and your cost of goods sold. So all you do is you select the items that need their price updated. So for these shackets, they all have the same retail price of $59.99. However, my pink shackets, the cost of goods sold, the unit cost, was a little bit higher than the other two colors. So I didn't screenshot me doing that, but you can just select like the pink ones and then hit edit unit cost to update just those three, and then go back and do the other variations if all of the other variations have the same unit cost. But you can bulk edit your price and your unit cost. So one thing I didn't mention a little bit earlier is I don't, at this stage, I didn't enter my product description and I didn't upload my images yet because those sync with your Square Online. Now, you could upload your images and write in your description at this stage if you wanted to. However, I like to do that when I'm adding the product to my website because I really like to optimize for the user experience on the website side. So I wait to upload my images and write my product descriptions until the website point. I also haven't taken product photos yet because the whole point of doing it this way is to get my items on the sales floor as fast as possible because inventory is money, just like time is money. So the faster I can get my products out to the sales floor, the better. I do all of this from my boutique while I'm open. So I need to make sure that I get it out there so that people can start buying them. So that's why I do it in this order. Of course, you can modify this however it suits your business. If you don't have a brick and mortar, well then heck yeah, you're going to want to get it on your website as soon as possible. So you're going to have to just like think about that for your boutique if you're an online only. Okay, so you type in your item price, you hit apply to all variations or however many you have selected, and then it updates for you right there. Now you're going to add the number of items you received by going underneath those variations there and selecting manage stock. So in this case, we are receiving stock. You're going to want to select reason, and this will automatically update all of these different variations for you. You don't have to do this for every single variation that you just selected or entered. But select reason, stock received. So this is very important to get correct. And that is because when you're reporting on cost of goods sold, you can pull reports of inventory recounts and inventory lost and damage and that kind of stuff. So you can see like when you do your inventory, like what happened to it. Because when you purchase inventory, it is an asset. But as soon as like the price of it or the cost of it is an asset. But as soon as you sell it, the cost of goods sold becomes an expense. As soon as it gets stolen or lost or damaged, the cost of it becomes an expense. So it's really important to put the reason for your stock change in here correctly. But in this case, we are receiving our stock, so we're going to select that. And then we're going to go ahead and enter how many we are receiving. So you don't enter the total number in inventory because you're entering how many you received, and then Square will add it to, like if you had already had this item in stock and you just got more in, you would just go in and add, say stock received, and add 2. And if you already had 2 in stock, Square would automatically update your total inventory in stock to 4. But you're adding how many you just received. I had 2 of each size come in, and then you click done, and then you click save. All right, now I'm going to go print my barcode labels because I have a brick and mortar and I am getting this out onto the sales floor as fast as possible. So one thing I forgot to mention, I think, is I have Square for retail, the paid version. There's a free version and a paid version. If you are a boutique owner, you need the paid version because you need to have this cost of goods sold reporting. It has nothing to do with the barcodes. The barcodes you only can get if you have the retail version, but that's not why I have it. I have the paid version of Square for retail because I need to be able to report on cost of goods sold. That is extremely important. If you are a member of the inventory workshop, you know how important knowing your margins are, and there's no way to know that if you don't have all that good cost of goods sold reporting. I digress. We will move on. So you go to actions now. Once you've saved that item, if you want to print the barcode, you're going to click on actions up there, print labels. And then you're going to scroll down a little bit and click add item. So this is where you're going to then select all the different variations that you just created. Again, they are in order of the option sets that you chose. This is why I like to put them in order of color and then size. And then select them all and then click create labels. And this is what my labels look like. So I have a Munbin printer, a thermal printer, and when they print, I just put them on the back. I have branded tags. I put them on the back of this, and then I can put them on my clothing items, or I can put them on whatever items. If you download these slides, this little icon here, I'm not going to go over my product photography process right now. This would be like an hour-long class. I did write a blog post about product photography, how to do it for free, and all of the nuances and that good stuff. So if you download these slides, this little camera will link you to that blog post where you can learn how to take product photography. Because once I printed my labels and got my stuff out on the floor, now it's time to make sure I get my items added to my website. So if you don't have a brick and mortar, this is your next step to get your items put on your Square Online website. So product photography, please click that link. We're going to move on. And at this point, I've already taken all my product photos, okay? Okay, so now we are in Square Online, and you go to items and site items in order to add these items to your website. Then you're going to click on add item. Again, I have it set so that my items don't automatically show up on my website when I add them to my Square point of sale item library. I want to have complete control over what my items look like on my website. If you have it set to where your items can automatically show up on your website from your item library in Square, it'll show up without images. It'll show up without your item descriptions. If you haven't had a chance to add your options or your variations and your prices and your stock levels and all that good stuff, it'll show up on your website and people will be able to shop it without having all the accurate information. So I recommend doing it this way, where you take care of getting it all sorted out in your item library, and then you go to Square Online and you're going to optimize this baby for your website before you publish it and make it live for people to shop. So you're going to click on add item once you're in your site items dashboard. You're going to add from item library because we just added all this stuff to item library. Let's say I had added all three of these items. I could select all three, and then you're going to click add item. So I've got these new shackets selected here. I'm going to click add the item. Then you're going to have to, if you select more than the one, you're going to have to go in and search the item name in your item list on Square Online. That is definitely a step that I hope Square eliminates from Square Online here in the near future, because it is just an extra step for you have to go search for the new items you just added, but whatever. Okay, so I'm in my new shackets. I'm going to upload my images now. So I'm going to select this big square. I'm going to select all of the images that I optimized based on that blog post that I shared with you guys. And here they are. And I'm going to order them so that I have it set up on my website, and I do this for my web design clients as well. But when somebody hovers over my an image or an item on my website, it'll quick flip to the next image in line. So I always, if a product has different color variations, will put a different color right next to it. So people, if they hover over this jacket, it'll switch over to the brown one from the pink one, and they'll be able to see, oh, there's more than just the pink for this jacket. So then I have the pink, brown, sapphire of the black, and then I model all of my stuff just like in a mirror with I put a different size on in each variation to like show people like how it fits at a different at the different size availability. And I put that in pink, rust, and sapphire as well, so that when somebody's on my website, they can see these all in the same exact order. So consistency is very important with your product photography. Again, please read that blog post because it is so informative. So you got your pictures all taken care of, and then whatever picture you put as your main picture there with the 2 arrows, that means it is syncing to your Square point of sale. So if you have in-store sales, whether you sell at pop-ups or flea markets or a brick and mortar like this, that is what will show up on your point of sale screen as well. So now I'm going to add in my description here because you have so many more of those editing options for the first time on your Square Online. So you can bold things, you can do bullets, you can add links, which I just did a quick product description here for the purpose of this training. You're going to want to cross-sell in here. So like I probably would have talked a little bit more about how to style these jackets and linked to the hat I'm wearing, the jeans I'm wearing, any of the accessories that can go with these jackets. I would link to them directly in this product description for cross-selling purposes and hopefully to get my average order value up. But then you're also going to want to always include details about fit and sizing. So I always say what my height and my weight are, and then what size I'm wearing in each of the variations so that people who are shopping my website can make a better informed decision. This little icon, the little bubble icon, this will lead you to a free download for how to write really, really good product descriptions. So take advantage of that. Then you're going to scroll on down. You're going to make sure your fulfillment settings are correct. So this, again, is a default setting that you can set up in Square Online, and I make sure to set this up for my web design clients, but I have it set to shipping and pickup being my default fulfillment things. You can then change it based on the different options. Like if I had local delivery for one item, I could add local delivery here, and it wouldn't affect all my other inventory. Now you're going to add images for each variation so that somebody shopping on your site, if they clicked on pink and small, the pink one would show up. If they clicked on rust and medium, the rust one would show up. So this is where you do that. You scroll down a little bit more and you click on these plus signs next to each variation. For the pink, you would select the pink one and then you would click save, and you would do that for each and every single variation that you have on your website. If you have more than 10 variations, so this one has 12, you're going to see a little like next screen. Be sure to click it. So like I miss this step quite often because out of sight, out of mind, those next 2 variations are on this next screen here. So that's why I made sure to call this out. Make sure you get or you assign an image to each variation that you have. Next, you need to add your items to categories. I see a ton of boutique owners not using this feature for some reason on their Square Online site. So one thing that I make sure to do is structure my web design client sites for conversion, and this is a huge part of it. You need to organize your inventory in order for your customers to shop it. So when somebody's on your website, it's like they are in your store. And if they want to see all of the women's tops, they should be able to look at all the women's tops. If they only want to see the short sleeve t-shirts, they should be able to filter by that. And if they only want to see shackets, they should be able to filter by shackets. So with Square Online, like I had mentioned earlier in this training, you can have as many categories as you want for each item. So you're going to click on choose categories, select all of the categories that apply. So for me, it's women's tops and button downs and shackets, and then you click save. And then you click save on the item in general, and you've just added your first item. Then I would just like to show you how this image will change. So you can see that I have the pink one. It's like the default because that was the main image that I added. So it's showing the pink one now, but let's say somebody chooses sapphire and small. You can see that it changed it to the sapphire one on my website. So that is why we assign images to each variation. And then, hey, I'm a web designer. I make dreamy websites for Square Point of Sale sellers I have my website in a day package. It starts at $7.99 for non-e-commerce. It's $9.99 for e-commerce websites. But again, if you download these slides, you're able to click this button to learn more about what is all included in that package, and then you can get your website booked if you want yours truly to create you something that is extremely affordable and dreamy and done in one day for you, because I know all the tips and tricks and I can do it really quickly. And that way you can just get back to doing what you do best, which is owning your business. I hope you found this helpful, and I know that it sounds like a lot when I have to say it in a 25-minute training, but I had done a lot of trial and error, and this is just the most efficient way to get your inventory added into Square Point of Sale while maximizing all the features available to you in Square and Square Online. And it also just makes for the most user-friendly experience, which leads to higher conversion rates. Thank you for watching.